Days after Donald Trump's high-profile summit with Vladimir Putin in Alaska, the White House is once again the stage for Ukraine's future. This time, it's President Volodymyr Zelensky, maps in hand, facing Trump with a string of European leaders watching closely. At the center of the Oval Office talks was a map. A map showing percentages of Ukrainian land under Russian control. Zelensky disputed the numbers, telling Trump, "I know this percentage very well." The two men debated the shaded territories, with Trump at one point saying, "Good map," and Zelensky quipping, "I'm thinking how to take it back."
I showed the President a lot of details on the battlefield, on the map. Thank you so much. Thank you for the map, by the way.
Good map.
It was great. Yeah. I'm thinking how to take it back.
We'll get you.
No. I think that we had constructive, specific meeting.
Behind the light banter lay the hardest question of all: how much of Ukraine's land is gone for good? Much of the battle comes down to Donbas, the industrial heartland of eastern Ukraine. Coal, steel, farmland, rivers, even a Sea of Azov coastline, the region has long been Moscow's target. Pro-Russian militias first took Donetsk and Luhansk in 2014. 8 years of fighting followed, killing more than 14,000. By 2022, Putin annexed the region outright after sham referenda. Today, Russia controls almost all of Luhansk and about 70% of Donetsk. For Putin, retreating from land claimed as Mother Russia is unthinkable. For Zelensky, giving it up would be political suicide. Unconstitutional, militarily dangerous, and unacceptable to three-quarters of Ukrainians. European leaders who flew into Washington made one thing clear: no peace talks without a ceasefire. German Chancellor Friedrich Merz was said bluntly, "I can't imagine the next meeting without a ceasefire." But Trump brushed that aside, saying, "I don't know that it's necessary." He was aligning himself closer to Putin's stance that peace can be negotiated while the war rages on.
Just had the honor of being with President Zelensky and all of the discussions that we've had. We covered a lot of territory, and I spoke indirectly with President Putin today. We're going to call President Putin right after this meeting. I'm sure we're going to have a solid meeting, good meeting, maybe a great meeting, and we're going to try and work out a trilat after that and see if we can get it finished. I think that the European nations are going to take a lot of the burden. We're going to help them, and we're going to make it very secure. We also need to discuss the possible exchanges of territory, taking into consideration the current line of contact. This is something that's very attainable, and it can be done in the near future.
If Ukraine can't join NATO, what comes next? Trump has floated security guarantees, promises of protection without NATO membership. In Washington, Zelensky said those guarantees might soon include a $90 billion package, advanced US weapons, air defense, aviation systems, and even deals for Ukraine to sell drones to America. European leaders welcomed this shift. NATO chief Mark Rutte called it a breakthrough.
This is the only way to fix it. And by the way, I think as a follow-up, we would need probably a quadrilateral meeting, because when we speak about security guarantees, we speak about the whole security of the European continent. And this is why we are all united here with Ukraine on this.
Next steps ahead are the more complicated ones now. The path is open. You opened it last Friday. But now the way is open for complicated negotiations. And to be honest, we all would like to see a ceasefire, the latest from the next meeting on.
Still, the details remain vague. Would US troops or European forces ever be deployed? Or is this another paper promise like the failed guarantees Ukraine was once given in 1994? Then there's Crimea. Trump declared, "No getting back Crimea," insisting the peninsula Russia seized in 2014 is off the table. For Ukrainians, that means a precedent of aggression rewarded with territory, something Kiev and its European allies have long rejected. And yet, Trump continues to hint at land swaps, Russia freezing some front lines in exchange for Ukraine surrendering more of Donbas. Sources say Putin even dangled that exact proposal in recent talks. Zelensky has flatly refused. Perhaps the biggest surprise came when Trump announced plans for a Putin-Zelensky summit. He said he had begun arranging a bilateral between the two leaders, followed by a trilateral with himself at the table. Zelensky signaled he was ready.
No, we don't have any date. We don't have any date. We just confirmed after this productive meeting with President and then with all our colleagues, with partners, we confirmed that we are ready for a trilateral meeting. And if Russia proposed to President of the United States bilateral, and then we will see the result of bilateral, and then it can be the trilateral. So I said always, so Ukraine will never stop on the way to peace, and we are ready for any kind of formats, but on the level of leaders.
Putin for now has only agreed in principle. Whether Moscow actually shows up remains doubtful. So what's the crux of the conflict? For Putin, it's recognition of Russian control in Donbas and Crimea. For Zelensky, it's defending sovereignty and refusing to trade land for peace. For Trump, it's cutting a deal, one that may blur the lines between Ukraine's survival and Russia's ambitions. And for Europe, it's holding the alliance together while avoiding a precedent that borders can be changed by force.
Been fighting so long and so hard that they don't know what the they're doing.